Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't talk to you, a treasure in this message, so I gotta drop a couple jewels. Did it for my people, need some guidance, and they seek it true. Tired of propaganda, and they sick of being lied to. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I say there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Yeah. We need more wisdom, we need more love. I'm screaming peace on my people, I'm talking one love. And positive people, we need some more of. And black-owned businesses in my neighborhood really need to talk about our condition. TV and the media is paint strange pictures. If you see a black man, get your gun because he's vicious. Cops been killing us. Why you think it's cop killers die?
Major TV and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back, this is our appreciation. This is Major TV and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back, this is our appreciation. Appreciate the views and appreciate the comments. Keeping it real, always giving you this content. Hoping that my people don't take nothing out of context. Giving you this knowledge, hoping that it change your mindset. Telling you you're beautiful like the dawn of the sunset. And letting them know black power is more than just a concept. Major TV, you know we do this for the people. Changing the community and raising future leaders. This is Major TV and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your
Good day, positive vibrations. This is Major. Thank you for tuning to Major TV. Let's talk. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that's watching. Y'all like and share the live. Y'all like and share the live. I went and seen the Womanking yesterday, and I want to give my thoughts about it. It was a magnificent, beautiful movie, and I know there's been big time critiques about the slave trade. Some of it not being as accurate, but I still feel like we should have a conversation about it. So what I want to first do is ask anybody that's watching this live, send a one if you've seen the movie yet. Send one if you've seen the movie yet. You feel free to acknowledge that you're in the chat. You want to make a comment, cool, you can do that as well. But send a one if you've seen the movie. If not, I'm gonna give you a little snippet of what I've seen and what I believe to be groundbreaking in the sense of black people actually doing a damn thing. Shout out to Viola Davis. You know, she is a magnificent actress, but her and her husband and a production company and pushing this movie, I think was magnificent. And if you've seen the Breakfast Club interview or Sway in the Morning, all other places that they've been advertising the movie, they talk about all the drama they went through with Hollywood with trying to get the budget. I've been checking out, well, not really watching, but seeing people make comments about it. I have to be frank. We as a people, we are so freaking critical. We are so damaging that we're critical. We're so emotionally angered that even if it's not all real, there have been so many European movies, so many, especially about Greece and Rome. It's sad that as fictional as it can be, there are some of the top movies. And even if we criticize and say they lying, right? The actors, the producers, everybody getting paid, directors. But when black people do something, melanated people do something, we the first not the oppressor, but we the first to come out there and just go crazy with it. I have no problem if it's fictional, because in reality, that's how we really feel. That's how we really feel. Like we want to kill, we want to kill the oppressor. We want to dominate. We want to free our people and so forth, so on. But I want to wait till everybody come in before we really have a conversation about it. And if you've seen the movie, The Woman King, send her one, let me know, because I want you to also help me out in discussing some details. I won't tell a movie because Viola Davis says something very, very important, I think, on Breakfast Club. She was talking about, how we need to support Black people, melanated people, when we're doing something. And she was talking about it's easy. Well, she wasn't talking about, one of the cast members that's in the movie was talking about, they know how easy it is for people to scream and say it. But if we want to support a Black business, why not? Because she's a production company that produced the movie. They've been brought it to Hollywood years ago. And people are like, well, why are they going to Hollywood? Well, Hollywood got a far reach. Until we can have a reach, I mean, we have to do what we got to do, right? But she recommended that we go see it and support it. And just out of love and respect for the sister, I wouldn't check it out. And I went Adobe style too, so the special effects, the sound and whatever. And with my family, and I can really say we enjoyed it. It was some teary moments, it was some tough moments, but it was some damn good acting, man. It was some damn good video editing, directing and what have you. So if you've seen it, send her one. If you haven't, let's start. First, if nobody don't know, Viola Davis and her husband, production company, actually produced the movie, right? They got the budget from Hollywood. And unlike Black Panther, which is one of the best-selling movies of all time, where you had a predominantly Black cast, Black director, so forth, so on, Black producer and whatnot, right? But we know that Disney World was behind it. Well, in this situation, this was more real than fictional, even though we know it was based on true events. There was some fictional stuff in it, and I have no problem with that, right? But from what I first loved about the movie, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me shout Viola Davis out, her husband, but also Gina Prince Betwood, I believe. This sister who directed Love and Basketball, we know that's a classic. She did a damn good job with directing. I mean, from the video shots, the photography, the editing, it was very profound, right? But more importantly, I seen an all Black cast, a melanated cast of people. Even though you had moments where you would see whites in the films, but you actually seen a situation whereas you had an all Black cast, and the leading lady was Black. The women, because we talking about the Kingdom of Dahomey, and the Ogoji warriors, right? And it was amazing during the time that they was having so much strife and riffraff with other countries and whatnot. And what I learned that, and I want to talk about it before I just go into so much, I'm gonna read it, so I don't want to kind of try to come off the top of my head. But let's just check it out for a second and see what it says. The homie Ogoji, the Ogoji were a fun all-female military regiment of the Kingdom of Dahomey, was existed from the 1600s until 1904. The Dahomey Amazons were the term used by the European colonizers. They are one of the few documented female armies in modern history. Y'all heard that, huh? One of the few, documented female armies. That's powerful. That we can't just, and that's why I have to give Viola Davis credit for wanting to push this. It's real that something is documented dealing with predominant females, but we're talking about melanated females, black females, brown females. And it was bad. They were named Amazon. When I read that part, where it said they were named Amazons by Western Europeans who encountered them due to history, due to the story of the female warriors of Amazons in Greek mythology. The emergence of an all-female military regiment was a result of the homies' male population facing high casualties and increasing frequent violence and warfare with neighboring West African states. Now, we have to bring it in context, right? These women just ain't out the blue started fighting. Men was dying, so they needed some type of help. They needed some type of urgency in reference to what was about to happen with the wars and whatnot. This led to the homie being one of the leading tribes in the slave trade, and your empire was used slave for common exchange in West Africa until British Empire brought it in to slave trade in the region. I'm gonna stop right there, right? But my point basically is this: is the fact that they was practically forced to stand up for their country. On top of that, they were in a position whereas economically they had to sell other Africans as a commodity, I guess, to get the economy going or help them out as a people. Now, as we know today, slave trade is constantly a big issue because of a lot of time we speak about how it was kidnapped, right, from Africa. But some whites will say, well, they were selling slaves in Africa and what have you. But the bring context is really showing you that at that time, you know, we're talking about the 1600s, right? That was going on. That was a commodity, and though it's frowned on by black people, melanated people, and whites kind of like glorify the idea that we were selling black people to whites. I feel like a lot of times we're to bring things into context, right? So when I look at the movie and what it entails in reference to the representation of strong black women, and the moments whereas there was training and preparing, the training was like something else, right? But I definitely recommend you go research everything I'm talking about and get into it real deep. But not to really like talk too much about the movie. I think you should go see it. These women at that time, because they showed up the slave auctions out there. They show how it was up. They give you a realistic aspect of what it was like, right? And again, shout out to Gina Prince Baywood, I believe, or Bathwood. She really like made sure it depicts the reality of what would happen if slaves were being captured and being sold. But the fighting, I think the fighting was good. I think the directing of the fighting and what have you. And they got a couple of twists to it that gonna really make you really think. But historically, I think it also helped us understand how we as a people don't really get a chance to learn about our history or find out things about our history, because too many times it wasn't written about, or it was written about, the colonizers destroyed it, and we wasn't able to translate to everyday conversation. We wasn't able to put it on television. We wasn't able to make it national, internationally known. That's why I commend anybody that's really trying to push the message. Because see, right now, I know we have a big issue and a big push about self-determination. I know a big issue about standing for ourselves against the violence and what have you. But I feel like having positive images, because people understand, positive images psychologically helps when children and when families can look at stuff like this and see that, damn, even though we know there was some bad out there, we know this was going on, the slave trade or what have you. They had people that was willing to fight and sacrifice everything to save their own and to survive. And for me, I feel like there's nothing wrong with acknowledging some of the bad. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that there was slave trading going on. There was nothing wrong with the fact that we're seeing some self-destructive stuff, but there's some power, it's a powerful message in there, about ending it. And even though they say British ended it in the movie, they made it seem like the king had stopped it, right? It was like that was it and what have you, and they condemned it. But to make a long story short, what I got from was, even if historically it wasn't correct, the way how it was written, the way how it was directed, you can really take some positive from it. When I see people, because when I entitled, the Woman King, on what you can take from this and what's the ups and downside, I think we can take from it is that we on the move. We on the move in reference to producing decent movies. And even though we're still going through the powers that be to get our movie on films, but we have more and more melanated people that's coming on film. We got to go way, way back and see how Hollywood treated us. At first, we couldn't even be in front of camera. And we did get in front of camera, who was a mammy, who was a butler, you know what I'm saying? Who was a servant or something like that. And it wasn't up until like, I think Sidney Poitier in the 60s that really kind of like opened the door, whereas they would consider looking at a dark-skinned melody man as an actor. And we got to understand, for a long time, Hollywood, the media, if we wasn't an athlete or committing a crime, too many times you wouldn't see part of the role model until the 80s. You had Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show. But we had to fight. We had to fight to even get a melanated person in front of the camera and to pick a positive role. But now you got superheroes. You have lawyers, doctors, you name it, entrepreneurs that's in front of the screen. And I just really feel like we missing a boat when every time a Black person is behind something, even if they're getting funding from Hollywood or whoever, we're so critical. But we don't understand positive image work. The reason why we have so much negativity in a lot of our poor inner cities, particularly melanated communities, is because there's not as many positive role models and images. But because there's been a fight, we understand psychologically, because you really think about psychology and what have you, it let you know image matter. They say a picture speaks 1,000 words. So you always showing melanated people selling drugs, going to jail, hustling on the streets, or playing sports, or what have you, or getting killed, then think about the perception of all that. Or you see them playing a servant role, or what have you. What's the perception? But if you had melanated people out here working, creating, and they out here doing that, we just never hear about them. Out here making moves in the community. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to tell everybody, don't buy into what these YouTubers we talking about. Yeah, systemically things are messed up. I can admit to that. I can admit that, yeah, we're still fighting for things we fighting for back then, but it's way better than it was back then because they had very little and they did superb. We have so much that we're doing worse because you know why? Too many times we operate out of emotional anger. Too many times we want to do things so fast. And when things don't work out, we attack everybody. Hurt people. And a lot of us are hurt and we don't know it. And we think because we read a book, we think because we do a kind of research, we think because we know some things and we articulate it very well, our energy, sometimes how we treat our people and how we entertain topics, we be more negative than positive. I understand your radar should be up, you should pay attention, but if there is growth going on in our community, we should be happy. I always say, one of us winning, we all winning. The way how we treat our black millionaires and black billionaires, when I say we, I'm talking about those who out here talking about what we need to do and how we got to come together and systemic racism and black power, black conscience, all this stuff. And I want to say nonsense to me because a lot of when you look at a personal individual, they search their flawed. But when I look at people that winning, we don't even know how to treat it because we think, oh, they ain't doing the community. Look, you don't know what they're doing. And they're employing our people, they're investing in the community, they're doing their part. I don't care if they have $1 billion. You won't save no community no $1 billion if everybody, and I'm not gonna say everybody, if most of us are not in sync on code and focus on building. Too many times when we get in front of this camera, we want to sensationalize everything that happened bad in our community and never look at the good. And every time it's something good, we overshadow the bad. And my thing is, it took years to get us in the state where we're in today. And it may take a minute for us to come out of it. But we don't start the day really like looking at how we can come together, how we can build off of films like this. I mean, I don't know what to say. I think it's a beautiful movie. I had a teary moment. I was like, woo, you know what I'm saying? And my queen was like, you all right? I said, I'm good. But it was so like, it was deep, man. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been brave to watch slave movies over the years. And it's never like easy, you know. But I wanted to know. And you know, you get tired of seeing the end. Slave, you know, you get tired of the end. Slave get killed or something happen. It don't be the result you wanted to be. How many movies we seen was rooting for that person that was enslaved to get free, or if that person was being oppressed by the system, they get away, right? But it doesn't work out like that. But in this movie, guess what? It worked out like that. Whether it was real or not, they wound up taking care of business with opposing tribes. They wound up taking care of some of the oppressors, and they wind up acknowledging this great warrior, Viola Davis, whether it's fictional character or not, and called the womanking. And it was so like breathtaking, y'all. It was like, I mean, because I don't go to movies as much, because I be streaming and stuff. I have a streaming device I use, and we have your app. But I really feel like we have to start enjoying. Like, I'm gonna show you this series I seen on Netflix called Black Lightning. I only ever seen Black Lightning, but when I say there's so many issues they're addressing that, I've seen so many TV shows, movies, predominantly black cast. You have acting, producers behind the scenes, white people. I don't care whoever's behind the scenes. If they're showing black people in a positive light, they got a positive message for us, I'm for that. I don't know why in this world we think even if we was to get our own land and do our own thing, that we won't have to deal with nobody else but ourselves. It's not going to happen. As much as you see China and United States at odds, Russia and all that, they still deal with each other. But for me, I think we have some growing up to do in reference to understand that our issues are issues that it's not like we can't deal with it. It's like we don't process it properly. In my opinion, we go to social media too much and we just blab about a lot of things and just think everybody gonna just come behind us and support us. We've had so many letdowns over the years, so many letdowns that people are not taking chances like that. But I hear talk. I want to talk about this movie because I felt proud to see, because I'm in my 50s, right? In my early 50s, and I remember growing up in the 70s and the 80s and how everything seemed bad growing up in the projects. And all that we did, we won't play sports. We wasn't thinking about being no doctor, no lawyer, nothing like that. And the people that was talking about unity, coming together, Black power, and what have you, they was not coming in my community. So the crime, the violence, the drugs, the oppressive system that was taking advantage of us was doing what they wanted to do. I can remember Cosby Show, but guess what? I also remember good times. I also remember movies that wasn't a good light. Like I said, I'm gonna say movies as well as TV shows that wasn't a good light. And even though back then, the black exploitation movies, and I see a bunch of them now, but back then I don't remember what I was watching. But I was glad to see back then it was on the verge of something. But now it's a whole different look. And I just feel like we have to start embracing the good out this and the success out this and how images matter and how people are able to see on the big screen black people really like calling shots and doing things. And even if they're not fully funding it or they're getting some kind of assistance, it's nothing created around you that don't deal with credit or getting some kind of loan. You know what I'm saying? But we always make it so bad. And with that being said, I just want to thank everybody watching. Y'all like and share the live. Y'all know that I don't do a lot of videos and lives. I won't be quite honest. It had become very toxic. It became very like demanding. And with me having businesses and starting my newly transportation company, it had been very demanding. But so I had to regroup and get myself together, right? And here and there try to contribute to Major TV. But I found that it's not easy trying to convey a positive message. You have so many people in your ear. You have so much going on in our community. And you have so many people out there that's speaking, talking, and some that's doing. For me, I know I'm coming from my heart. That's why I did a 180 with my channel, and I wanted to focus on building better content, having better conversations, and really getting people to realize that we can have conversations. We sometimes we may not always agree, but understand that we still family, that we still is in this fight. I'm not a negative thinker, so I don't go around just looking at things in a negative way. I really try to be positive, even when I see negativity. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I be pissed, and sometimes I express myself. But at the same time, I realize it's a thinking game. But I did this video because I want everybody to know that I'm still around. Got a gnat. I'm sorry, y'all. Gnat is attacking me. But I'm still around, and my whole goal is to make sure that whatever I can impart with y'all, whatever I can share with you all, I'll be consistent. From interviews, from me having general commentary, dropping different videos I might find. Like I found out, surprisingly, 2 judges in Pennsylvania had a whole scheme with a builder that they were locking up kids for money, and they was convicted and fined $200 million to the family. Right, you got to pay the family $200 million, and I like doing stuff like that. So I'm not with the messy stuff. All the stuff that I've experienced, things I'm seeing, things that have happened back then. I'm just a straight, candid person, So I want to thank everybody for coming through and acknowledge my people, because I just been blabbing all by the mouth. My man, Ray Sean Irvin, what's up, brother Major, in room B1 first. Bridge Club, Shalom, Tribesman, Black Power. I'm here tapping in. Thank you, Bridge Club. Long time no see you here, bro. Good to hear from you. Isaac Gary, what's up? Good to see you, bro. I miss a lot. Real talk. Glad to see you, Isaac, coming through. Jacqueline Rouse, how you doing, sister? Grand Rouser, Major, love, B1 fam. How you doing, sister? B1 for real. Pat Oliver, how you doing? Pat, what's going on? Salute, bro, at Major. Salute, how you doing, Pat? How you been? Jacqueline Rouse, Mr. and Miss Davis, thank you for this Black History Critical Truth. Theory, they don't want a part of his story. Real talk, Jacqueline. I said, Gary, I have to go see it. Real talk, Gary, go see it, man, because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't care what nobody's saying about what actually happened. When you watch the movie from start to end, bro, the storyline was powerful. There's a couple of twists in there, right? But the most powerful thing about it was they showed unity. They showed they was brave. And they showed that they were willing to fight at any cost. And they didn't care what color, whoever, because they believe that their kingdom should be protected. And as I was reading on Wikipedia about it, it was saying that the men was dying because of violence and turbulence and characters and what have you. So the women had to step up. And when y'all watch the training, whatever, it was powerful. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it was some damn good acting. I'm not just talking about Viola, the Queen Viola did. I'm talking about everybody, man. I don't want to call their names and what have you and mess their names up, but all of us is in the movie credits or whatnot. Even you Google it, pull it up. And shout out again to director Gina Prince. I think it's saying Bethwood, I'm not sure, or Brentwood. I can't pronounce the name, last name, not in the world. This sister directed the movie Love and Basketball, and that was based on a true story with her. She was speaking about on Breakfast Club. But man, I mean, I enjoyed my family. I may watch it again, not anytime soon. I did Adobe, right? I like the special effects, the sounds, and all that. But it was beautiful, man. And at the end, it was like real victory for us as people because too many times, I'm gonna tell you what my queen told me. She said, even if it didn't go down like that in real life, and they were showing where they was killing white people and everything, right? And it was actually the slave catchers of people that I'm gonna say the people that was buying the slaves, right? She said, even if it happened, because they went actually, I'm telling you a little bit, they actually went like on slave port and they cut up. Agoji warriors was the truth. And my queen said, even if it's not true, this is how we really feel. This is what we really wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna kick ass. It don't be real. So that within itself, I was like, wow, I want to do a lot. I'm gonna say that. And that's true. So I don't care what nobody is saying about, oh man, you gotta watch what? There was slaves. That was going on back then. We already know they were being colonized this time. Most Africans were being colonized. So that time that what they were doing, selling each other unfortunately. That was like what do you call that? That was pearls of war or something like that. And let's see, because we say that just Africa was the only people doing that. Europe was doing it too. They were selling, Rome did it. If you didn't watch it in Rome, well, Rome was capturing slaves. They was when they conquered turn you into slave or sell you or what have you. So they did it but for us, it's like we make everything so damn bad. So all right, we talk about how great Africa was. All right, it was, and it still is. But it was periods in history where we dropped the ball. It was periods in history, whereas the Europeans, the Arabs, they came and took over a lot of stuff. And whatever we can produce an income for, we did it. And that means if me and you beef and I catch you, you catch me, and we sell it, and so happen the Caucasoid is the highest payer, we'll sell it. We frowning on it, but we wasn't back then. We don't know how it was. You know, even when you look at their kingdom, they call them. I think when the king from Dahomey was talking to a white man that was buying slaves, he got mad because he heard they was talking about in slavery, and he called himself trying to check the king and tell him that, you know, how you expect to keep up all your mud castle and homes. So this stuff was made out of mud. It was nice, right? We were making fun of it being made out of mud and what have you. And I was just saying to say that it was tough even the time he being a king. Because this time it was at a crossroad where he was a new king. So for me, it was like, it had some telling things about it, but more importantly, and what people missing, we had black people at the hem of all this. They was able to articulate They were able to create and produce something for us, right? Not Black Panther, where there's no truth to it, right? It's a shout out to the production of Black Panther because of the Black producer and director and the larger Black cast with the homie Ogoji tribe was real, and we know most stories as most movies that are based on true stories, they can always have fiction stuff in there. Like I said, how we criticize what they're doing with all the European wars movies, they're still making a lot of movies. We late. We Johnny come late doing movies about ourselves. I don't get energy from our people, and that's why I watch what I listen to, and I advise you, why would you listen to, why should you follow? I'd rather have, and I'm gonna talk about that too. I'd rather have a few people to follow me than a bunch of wannabes. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a few good men and women that's really about progress than a bunch of wannabes. You have a bunch of wannabes bouncing around, support this, supporting that one, and don't know what's going on. Haven't did no research. Don't know what's going on. Don't see the big picture. I love my people, and sometimes I love my people at a fault because everybody don't understand love, and everybody understand what it means to have somebody tell you they love you and to embrace you and truly have your back. Because of all we've been through, because of the mental health in our community, because of systemic issues, because of the self-hate, because of the lack thereof, we have become an emotionally angered, charged people that we respond most to our emotions. And there's nothing wrong with having emotions. There's nothing wrong with showing emotions. But when you're in a situation like we in, and I'm not just talking about the States, I'm talking about around the globe, we have to learn how to think, be objective, not subjective, objective. We have to know how to strategize, and we have to know when to fight, how to fight. And the fighting always physical. And until we can embrace that, we have a long way to go. Because every time we come on these social media platforms, and we go in the media, running our mouth, the enemy is watching. As soon as the enemy put his hands on us, we want to shout murder. You already know the system is set up whereas it's against us, it's for them. That's why I believe if we want to make any kind of noise, invest in ourselves and invest in our communities. That's how I feel we can really, truly win. It can be ways away, but I'm telling you, there's some groundbreaking stuff happening. And I don't know if y'all watch TV shows and movies, and I'm talking about Black or melanated TV shows or movies. We have seen a lot of leading, strong, powerful roles. And I'm not talking about this TV, I'm talking about behind the scenes, the directing, the producing, and the executive producers. There's a lot of positive imagery going on. We have to definitely feed off that. We have to definitely push all that until we're able to get a grip on the media and what we want to do and how we want to look. We're going to have to work the way we're working, any different channels and within the system, what have you, but at the same time, penetrating our people's minds and hearts. ER ready in the building. One love. Love. Thank you so much, fam. Steph 5, what's up? Much respect, Major. I respect pointing out that we in particular have to be analytic at this time when the resounding demand for reparation is undeniable. Now, here comes the next chess move. 2, put the responsibility back on Africans away from Europeans. Africans do bear responsibility. It's true, but Hollywood doesn't produce content, especially for us, without motive. At this point, my bro, if it's something positive, if it's something that we can build from, we're not. See, my point is, I agree. You got to realize Hollywood is getting something. They're movies to make money. They're movies to make Netflix to make money. I agree with you with that. But you got to understand, black people also eating off that. You got to understand, you have more positive images now than what you had back in the 60s and 70s, in the 50s. We have penetrated Hollywood. Now you may not understand what I'm saying, but I'm just saying the same Hollywood you know back then is not the same Hollywood now. And I'm not saying it's racist, but it's still a successful move. It's still a successful move. I'm not just talking about womanking. I'm talking about a lot of production going on out here. You have black people out here winning, really winning. But I feel as a people, we don't know how to receive them. We don't know how to receive it. I have to be real. You're not going to escape the oppressor. Even if you get your own land, we get our own land, whatever, they're going to still be present. We just have to know how to work the system. I'm telling you. You're looking at somebody that was incarcerated at a very young age. I learned a lot. I gave my time back. I learned how to work the system. That's all they're doing is working the system. When you hear somebody say working the system, they mean they're within the system playing chess. It's all a chess game. Every day of your life in the system is a chess game. Until you get true independence, until you get true determination, not yelling, screaming, not get all excited, not a moment here and there in history that you can say whatever. I'm talking about sustained. Like some countries have gained independence sustained it. You have to know how to work in the system as well as fight for self-determination, all the other rights, human rights. But it's not something you have to verbalize. It's something you have to do behind closed doors. It's something you have to do among each other, and it's something you just have to do. Derek Muhammad, good response, my brother. It was a very good movie. A beautiful movie, Deborah. Thank you so much, sister. I can't tell people enough of this. I don't understand some negative reactions. I understand to my watch Hollywood. Watch Hollywood. You ever heard right now in this day and age? It's really about the almighty dollar. It's really about power. They play the risk game with us at the bottom. At the top, they about the green, right? And I'm not saying not racist. I'm not saying that they don't side with their people. But we get into the cracks like crazy. And there's a lot of us. Not a few, a lot of us. You know? And there's this young brother, the king, I forgot his name, that started King. He was at home when they killed somebody in London. He went out there and went out there to the protest. And he spoke out. He got international attention, Hollywood called him, what have you. But dude was so wrong on Breakfast Club about that. He was raw about it. He knew what it was. Yeah, he gonna try to cash in cool. Look, this is how I go. You throw a punch, I throw a punch, right? Let's be real. And sometimes the punch might land, punch may not land. But when you're working within the system, you have to think. They throwing punches all the time. You got to throw punches back. You got to know how to punch. That's been documented in history, bro. How people have been able to overcome this situation, right? I'm talking about as far as different nations like China, like Japan, like Germany, right? Countries in Africa, what have you, Cuba, you know. But my point is, that's next level stuff. That's not the stuff you see in the United States that you see people talking about. It's next level. Until we're ready to go next level, we gotta know how to work within the system. And too many times, it said fast horse don't run long. When you come out the gates just trying to be aggressive about everything, when you're not organized, you're not prepared, you don't have the funding, you don't have the safe houses, you don't have the people, it can be hard. So shout out to Derek Muhammad for coming through. Thank you. I recommend everybody see the movie. I loved it. My family loved it. We talked about it after the fact, and I had to just talk about it. So thank you for watching and viewing. Please share this live. Share my channel. I've been around for 2 years. This month made 2 years for me. And it's been a roller coaster ride. And I've documented every month. I mean, every year I acknowledge the year and what went on the year. And this year I'm looking for bigger, better things. I do have a couple of business. I have a full autonomy now. And I'm out here just doing my thing. I'm a truck driver. I have an online business. And I started me a nonprofit. So I got some things going on. I'm working with some youths and everything. But I'm still trying to find time to do on Major TV. I have a few interviews, a couple of artists gonna come on, a few people would have you. My channel have declined a lot because I chose not to talk about certain things. I chose not to engage with certain people that's on the negative stuff. They reach out, people reach out to me through social media, but I don't entertain that. I don't care what's going on over there. I don't care about the fussing and fighting. I don't care about the debating. And if we can't love each other, we can't work out our difference, we can't understand we share a common enemy, we share a common problem, until we can be a like-minded people that understand it's not about verbalizing nothing. It's all about doing something. And as you're doing, you should know how to articulate what you're doing and not trying to rob nobody's emotions and what have you. We already know we're being oppressed. We already know the situation about history being rewrote, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just time for us to start taking advantage. Whatever we take advantage now, it's going to be a dog fight all the way through. It took years for the power to be to subjugate us as a people. And it's going to be a challenge for us to come out of subjugation and get true freedom and independence. And I'm not just talking about the states, I'm talking about globally. But it won't work until we realize how to move and how to play chess. And this is a life. This is a situation of life or death. It's what it is. They wouldn't kill you. They wouldn't die. They wouldn't go all the way for you. So with that being said, my boy Pat Tyler will come back and say, salute, bro, Major. Salute that, bro, Major. Salute, Pat Real Talk. Thank y'all for everything, like and share. Subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping content every so often. I'm so humble doing this live. I'm so humble to just have people watching me and rock with me. So with that being said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Got nothing but love for you. Just do this. Be focused, stay strong, and just be you. Peace.
Let's talk. Yeah. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving the food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Yeah, strength in numbers, we need to talk among us. We need to show more love and be more supportive. Product of my environment, something wrong with the soil. Soldier with no platoon, cause every day it's a war. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving the food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Let's talk. I ain't saying that it gotta happen overnight, but we gotta make a change to preserve life, serve a greater purpose, and start with you and I. Gotta plant the seeds of hope deep in your mind, and let it grow to something you never thought it would, and give back all the blessings to the neighborhood, just the way you should, the only way to do it. This is Major TV Music, Black Media. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity.
The Negro is still languished in the corners of American society, finds himself in exile in his own land. So we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned.